Hello my dear students, Assalamu alaikum. In our today's session, we will briefly discuss about essay writing. What is an essay and what are the characteristics of good essays? What is the classification of essays or what are the types of essays? And then finally, how you can write an effective essay. So why do we have to talk about essays? We have to talk about essays because this is one of the most important components of your course. No matter to which degree program you belong, you always have to write or produce different essays on different topics. So let's start our today's session. So let's start with the definition of an essay. An essay is a literary composition on any subject. It is a written composition giving expression to one's own personal ideas or opinion on some topic. However, the term usually covers any written composition whether it expresses personal opinions or gives information on any subject or details of a narrative or description. Essays may be classified as narrative essays, descriptive essays, expository essays, reflective essays, or imaginative or argumentative essays. The classification is useful. So as long it is remembered that these classes are not mutually exclusive and that some essays may partake the peculiarities of one or more than one classes. For example, a narrative essay may contain a good deal of description. An essay of all classes should be more or less reflective, for the original idea of this form of composition is an expression of the writer's own feelings and opinions about a given subject. So simply speaking, I just mean to say that these types of essays are interconnected with each other. You cannot strictly say that if you are writing a reflective essay, it cannot be a narrative essay, or if you are writing a descriptive essay, it cannot be an imaginative essay. So all these essays are interconnected with each other. So there is no clear demarcation or distinction between different types of essays. But since we have to talk about the different types of essays, let me briefly discuss what these types of essays are. Reflective essays. A reflection is a thought on some subject or an idea rising in the mind. So the reflective essay consists of reflections or thoughts on some topic which is generally of an abstract nature. For example, if you are writing about habits, if you are writing about qualities, if you are writing about social, political or domestic topics such as richness, poverty, democracy, truthfulness, patriotism, etc., or philosophical subjects such as right and wrong, or if you are writing about religious and theological topics, they all would be reflective essays. So if you are writing on any narrative essay, so a narrative essay consists mainly in the narration of some event or a series of events. I say mainly because a narrative essay must not be confused with a short story or habits of history or a bits of history, sorry. So the narrative it relates should be treated as a subject for thought and comment. So the essay should be more or less reflective. For example, if you are writing a story of Shah Jahan, or if you are writing a narrative essay on Akbar, so these all would be the types of narrative essays. Or you may also think about writing biographies, you may think about writing incidents, you may think about writing accidents, or you may think about writing natural disasters such as flood, etc., or a journey, or even you can think about writing a story which may be real or imaginary. So it will also be a type of narrative essay. Let me briefly discuss or talk about descriptive essays. A descriptive essay consists of a description of some place or a thing. Remember how descriptive essays are different from other types of essays. When you are writing about descriptive essays, you basically focus on the physical appearance of something. For example, you might have written about the most impressive or influential personality you might have ever met. So you might have written the physical appearance of that person, how did he look like, and so on. So that was a descriptive essay. Similarly, if you have to describe a room, it would be the physical appearance of that room. So it will again be a descriptive essay. So what is An argumentative essay is basically an essay in which you have to talk about the pros and cons of something. You have to write in favor of something or you have to write against something. But remember, either you are in favor of it or you are against it, but you have to write the both sides of a coin in your argumentative essay. You may take side, you may say that I'm in favor of it, or you may say that you are against it, but remember, you cannot ignore the facts that are to be added in it. The next type of essays is expository essays or explanatory essays. So these essays consist of an exposition or explanation of some object or some subject, for example institutions, industries, occupations, etc. So when you are writing on such topics, there would be expository or explanatory topics. You may think about writing on some scientific topics in under the same heading, or you may think about writing some literary topics. So they all will be included in expository or explanatory essays. The last type is imaginative essays. Imaginative essays are essays on subjects such as feelings and experiences of a sailor or a wrecked ship. So these are all called imaginative essays. You may think about autobiographies. They will also be known as imaginative essays. For example, if you have to write an essay on if I were a king, if I were a queen, if I were the president of Pakistan, or if I were the president of any other country. So this is basically your imaginative essay. So all biographies are also known as imaginative essays. So let's briefly discuss the characteristics of a good essay. No matter which type of essay you are writing, either you are writing a descriptive essay or an argumentative essay or an imaginative essay or any other type of essay, these are the basic characteristics of a good essay, and if any of these characteristics is missing from your essay, it means you would be lacking something. So there should be unity, there should be order, brevity, style and personal touch in your essays. So what does this unity mean? Unity means that if you are writing an essay, definitely you will be adding different arguments or different point of views in your essay. They all should be interconnected with each other. And remember, they should all be connected with your central point or your central idea or your thesis statement. If they are not interconnected, it means there won't be unity in your essay. Then you have to talk about order. Order should be there in your essay. If you are writing your essay in a chronological order, they all should be connected with each other, starting with something that might have happened in the beginning. Then you have to develop your story, and then it should have a proper conclusion. So they all should follow a proper order. Remember that you have to write 3 to 5 paragraphs in your essay, but again you would have some limited words that you have to write in your essay. Mostly we say that an essay should consist of 300 to 350 words. So you have to manage your points accordingly. This should not be either very long or it should not be very brief. Rather, there should be comprehensive essay, and all ideas must be interconnected. They should follow an order, and they should be limited to a certain word also, limit also. The style of writing depends on the type of writing. If you are writing an autobiography, you would be using more imaginative words. If you are writing a descriptive essay, your words would be more like descriptive. If you are writing an argumentative essay, you have to use the words which are more persuasive. So your style depends on the type of writing that you are, type of essay that you are writing on. So when all these characteristics are there, the last and one of the most important characteristics is the personal touch. An essay should reveal the personal feelings and opinions of the writer. It should have its individuality in it. Strictly speaking, as it has been said earlier, that an essay is a written composition giving expression to one's personal ideas or opinions on any subject or any idea, and this personal touch should not be lost. When you start writing your essay, you have to once again think about pre-writing, writing and rewriting techniques. So I will not go into the details of writing process because this is something that we have already talked about. So I will quickly just remind you once again that if you start writing your essay, you have to clearly define your subject or your idea in your mind. Then you have to brainstorm and outline your arguments. So these are all pre-writing techniques, that whatever you are going to write, you have to think about your topic, you have to think about your idea, you have to think about your arguments. Once your thoughts are clear, you would be able to produce a very clear, refined, and good essay. So you have to divide your essay into different paragraphs, and each argument will be explained in separate paragraph. As I discussed earlier that normally or usually we divide our essay into 3 to 5 paragraphs. So it means each paragraph will be having one different argument followed by different examples. So an essay should consist of introduction, body, and then summary or a conclusion. Why summary on a conclusion? Because definitely if you are writing an argumentative essay, you have to give your conclusion in the end. If you are writing on any analytical topic, once again you have to conclude your essay. However, if you are writing an imaginative essay, if you are writing a descriptive essay, in that case you will be summarizing in your last paragraph rather than concluding it. So let's start with introduction. What do you have to write in your introduction? In your introduction, you have to develop your thesis statement. Thesis statement means your basic point of view around which your essay would be revolving. Then there should be a good developed body of your essay. What does it mean? It means that if you are writing 3 paragraphs or if you are going to write 5 paragraphs in the body of your essay, each paragraph will contain one developed argument followed by explanation and various examples. So each argument will be having supporting details and examples. And then the conclusion. In your conclusion, you have to restate your basic argument in an effective manner. Remember that conclusion does not mean that you have to restate your thesis statement. Rather, you have to use different words but to support your thesis statement. Another very important point that you must remember, that your conclusion and your introduction should be interconnected. It means whatever you have already said in your introduction, whatever you have already written in your thesis statement, it has to be reinforced in your conclusion. You cannot say that you are in favor of let's say if you are writing on women empowerment, you cannot say in the beginning in your thesis statement that you are in favor of it, and in your conclusion that you in your conclusion you should not say that you are against it. So whatever you are saying in your thesis statement, your conclusion should be reflection of the same. So make a plan of your writing. No matter which type of essay you are writing, you have to plan how will you execute your essay. So before you begin drafting your essay, you should make a clear plan, a clear roadmap, and that is your outline. So when you are at your outlining stage, when you are at your pre-writing stage and you are thinking about ideas, remember if you are thinking about ideas, write them in your on your paper. Because if you think that you will write it afterwards, there is the possibility you won't be able to remember or recall your these ideas. I always say that your ideas are just like your birds. If you do not engage them, they would fly. So if ideas are coming to your mind, keep writing them in your outline, keep writing them in your pre-writing stage, because they might not come to you afterwards. So once you have written your plan, once you have made your road plan, when you are done with your pre-writing, review, evaluate and organize your ideas written in your pre-writing or the planning stage. Then make a plan for your essay's thesis statement, support or your supporting arguments. Then you have to think about the order that you are going to follow of your essay, and then clearly think about the structure of your essay that you would be following. So what is this thesis statement? I think throughout my lecture I have talked about thesis statement many a times. So remember that this is a very important statement that expresses the main idea of your essay. This is the central point of your essay around which your ideas or your arguments will develop. So your thesis statement is basically your stance that you are going to take with your whole essay. So your thesis statement should be accurately predict your essay's direction, emphasis and scope. So whatever you are writing in your thesis statement, your essay should be the reflection of it. So whatever you are going to write in your essay, it should support your thesis statement. It should not contradict with your thesis statement. So make no promise that essay will not fulfill. So whatever you are going to write, again, once again, it should be the reflection of your essay, and your essay should be the reflection of your thesis statement. It should be direct and straightforward. It should not be an announcement, statement of opinion or statement of fact. Rather, it should be your personal opinion about something. So what is this support or the supporting arguments? Make sure to support your thesis statement of your main argument with further details and examples. Because definitely you are going to write 3 to 5 paragraphs, and you have to write minimum 300 to 500 words of an essay. So if you are not adding supporting arguments in your essay, you will fall short of the words. So whatever you are writing in your essay, there should be good supporting arguments of your that you have to add in your essay. So what are the basics of good support or the supporting ideas? They relate to the main point. Whatever your main point is, these all arguments or the supporting details would be directed towards your thesis statement. Consider readers, that is, provide enough information. So you have to think about your readers. You have to think about the person, the audience who is going to read your essay or any piece of writing. So you have to think about your audience while you are writing your essay. And your supporting details should be detailed, and they should be specific. You cannot just touch upon an idea and you cannot move on to other one. You have to make it sure that your reader understands whatever arguments you are writing. So if you think that your thoughts are a bit complicated, you need to add examples into it. Do not do not assume that your reader will understand it automatically because you understand it. Rather, you have to think about your readers. Sometimes you have to think about your readers as lay audience for whom you have to explain your points. You have to think about the order of your essay. Order is the sequence in which you present your ideas. There are three types of order. If you are writing about any incident, if you are writing about any accident, or if you are talking about any event, you have to follow the chronological order. So the chronological order basically follows the time and the event, at which time something might have happened. So this has to go with the chronological order. Then the second type of order is spatial or space order. If you are writing the description of a room, you have to follow the spatial order. At which place does something exist? So for that you have to think about the space around which you are going to develop your arguments and develop your essay. So the last point for order is emphatic order. That is according to the importance of something. There are two types of orders that we follow when we are writing emphatic piece of writing. Either we move from least to the most important point, or we move from most important to the least important point. It depends on the style of the writer, and it also sometimes depends on the type of essay that you are writing. Another important point is the structure or the organization of your essay. Consider that how you are going to organize your essay, and then according to your organization you have to create your final outline. So here I have given the sample outline of a standard 5-paragraph essay. So this is the basic or the standard outline that you have to follow. In the beginning, you have to give a very brief introduction of your essay that will definitely include your thesis statement, then the body paragraph number 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, and each paragraph will consist of at least one argument along with the supporting details and sufficient examples, and same would be followed with the other paragraphs. And in the end you have to give your conclusion. Again, something that I have already said, that your conclusion should be the reflection of your introduction or your thesis statement. So whatever you have already said in the beginning, you are going to restate it in your conclusion. When you start writing a draft, remember I have written it a draft because this is the first time that you are going to start writing your essay. So no matter how experienced writers we are, we never produced our final copy as a very first draft. Rather, we write it, we rewrite it, we delete different things, we omit different things, we add more information into it. So when you are writing your first version of writing, it will always be known as a draft. Here are a few characteristics or the basics of a good draft. A good draft has a fully developed introduction and conclusion. It has fully developed body paragraphs, each containing topic sentence and at least two examples and detailed supporting details. It follows standard structure and uses complete sentences, and it also has an effective conclusion. Remember that if you are not following the structure of writing, if you are not following the standard structure of sentences, it means you might be writing the run-ons, you might be writing the fragments, or you might be writing unstructured sentences in which might not be following some thoughts. So if you are not writing clearly, if you are not following the standard structure, there is the possibility that your reader would be lost somewhere and he or she will not be able to understand whatever you are trying to say. So when you start writing your introduction, your introductory paragraph should do the following. For example, there should be a minimum 4 to 6 sentences in your introduction. Then you have to tell the audience what to expect from your discussion or your thesis statement. Then you have to move from general to specific with the thesis as the last sentence in the introduction. Then you have to remember that in your introduction you have to grasp the reader's attention. If you fail to grasp the attention of the reader, there is the possibility your reader would be lost somewhere or your reader will not take interest in your paragraph. And then in your introduction you have to set the tone for rest of the essay as well. As I have already said that your introduction will be the reflection of your whole essay. Then how you have to develop the body or the paragraphs. Each body paragraph should develop one of the specific points mentioned in the thesis. Your big picture should contain the topic sentence, the main idea of the big picture, then your primary or the supporting details along with the examples, and then your secondary supporting statements along with the examples. Then how you have to write your conclusion. The concluding paragraph should contain at least 4 sentences. It should refer back to the main point but not simply repeat the statement. This is something that I told you in the beginning also, that although I have been emphasizing on the point that your conclusion should be the reflection of your introduction, but it does not simply mean that you have to repeat the same statement. Then remember that you will not introduce new ideas or new arguments in your conclusion, because whatever you have already said, you have to conclude on the same points. Then you have to create a sense of closure. Sometimes our students fail to conclude their paragraphs or conclude their essays well. So when they are writing, when they conclude their essays, it seems as if this was an abrupt ending. So whenever you are concluding, remember there should be a feeling of closing something. So this is how you have to write your effective essays, starting with the effective introduction, fully developed paragraphs in the body, and then a very effective conclusion. So that's all from today's session. Have a good day.